Welcome back, y'all. We just saw you. You were just here. We're back again. If you're new here, though, my name's Ashley, and this is my sweet perspective. The lovely lady over here to my whatever direction it is for y'all, Struggle Tyra over at Struggle Reviews TV, and we are back tonight to talk Murdaugh, Death in the Family. Tyra, how are you today? And are you ready to get into all things the Murdaugh family?
I'm,
Murdaugh family.
I'm great, and yeah, are you ready?
No, I'm not. I don't want to talk about this. Can I be honest with you? I've had enough of this type for a very long time. This just feels well. Let's go over here and let's get into overall thoughts. Why ask why, Tyra? Let's get it when we can get into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. So let's start here where we start every single time. Again, this is I believe, an 8-episode limited series that's on Hulu now. But Tyra, after watching these first 3 episodes, what are your overall thoughts?
Well, I don't think mine's would be as in depth as yours. These this particular show and these characters, I kind of heard about it, and I maybe watched a quick 3-minute type situation, like, oh man, that's pretty messed up. That's a effed up family, and I didn't give too many thoughts about it. So I haven't watched anything that went into depth about the family or the goings on or whatever. Now, for anybody who was following this, and I didn't even know until you said something, there was a movie, or a Lifetime movie made about it already. Things here could maybe feel repetitive and redundant, but this is all, it's kind of new to me. It's kind of new, and they're so terrible. They're so terrible. I did appreciate a lot when it came to casting. This is so on point. And not that those things matter all the time when you're getting into what's good and fleshed out or not, but I was like, damn. Did you have to make them look exactly like the people? It's so close. So when you tie that into the events and what's recklessly going on with this family, it's like a tragic pot that's about to boil over. I really can't say I remember exactly how we got here and what's to come, but from what we established in the first episode and how reckless this entire family is, along with their disgusting level of privilege, it just seems like a hot mess is about to ensue. Is it earth-shattering, good, or just great gripping TV? No, it's kind of cooked up for us to immediately dislike this family. Now, normally, and I'm not saying that anybody here needs to get a template to be relatable or likable or kind of endear them to us, because we hate that also. If people are just tragic and evil, hell, they're just tragic, trash, evil, and privileged. But the son, for one, awful. I was like, oh my god, ugh. I just kept going, ugh. Is this really, was it really that bad? It's just really bad. What's really keeping me here is how much further are they gonna go? Because if I'm just disgusted and disturbed with this family already, by the time we get to 8, I don't even know beyond the death, because we know what happens, but it's just getting there. What pushes you to that? Because this family is already really downtrodden.
Yeah, I didn't find out about the Murdaugh people until probably last year, when I had partnered with Lifetime on for TikTok or whatever, and this was one of the movies. I think Bill Pullum played Alex Murdaugh, and it kind of really explored more the events, of course, of him unaliving his wife and Paul, and then, or not Paul, excuse me, but the man, the hired man, and then what kind of ensued after that. A couple of things building up. While this story does go back in time, and we kind of get to see the pattern of abuses that they had, the systemic white privilege that was there, that his family, I mean, they had been there, what they say, since the 1800s. They had stolen the land, honey. They had been there ever since, with corruption and greed and thievery and addiction. There's so many things here. But I honestly, y'all, if I can be honest, I agree. Casting was on point for probably everybody but Pawpaw, but I love the actor who plays Pawpaw Down, so I'll never say a bad thing about him. We have Patricia Arquette over here. We've got some heavy hitters that are here for me, it just didn't land for me. It didn't stick the landing. And it's like I said, it's not that it's bad acting. It's not that it's poorly written. It's just that there's nothing in it that gives me the buy-in to watch it. Like, it's like, what are you offering different that we didn't get from the several documentaries that we've watched about his granddaddy, his daddy, his brother, his sons? We've seen all of this before. So what are you bringing to it that's narratively going to enthrall or capture your audience? Honestly, when I compare it to the Lifetime movie's better.
Really?
But yeah, if I compare this to Good American Family that we covered earlier in the year, that's better than this. And it's because they had a point of view and a perspective. And although that point of view was questionable, you wanted to watch the next episode to see what else they were going to do. Because what? And so in that instance, I almost would have preferred exaggeration. But I will say that truth is stranger than fiction. This was a wild family. It gets worser. This Paul's situation wasn't the first cover up that they've had or done for themselves or from others. It's just the same old. And I'm in the Carolinas, so it is what it is. Overall thoughts, I wouldn't watch any more of it unless we come back to cover it. I won't finish this series. It just, child, the Lifetime movie was better than this story wise, in my opinion. But that's just me. Going on over here, this was created by Erin Lee Carr and Michael D. Fuller. Really, how we talking about Tawanda and signs, Tyra? That was the sign. Based on Murdaugh Murders Podcast by Mandy Matney, and we meet Mandy, played by Brittany Snow, in this. And this is the person who kind of busts the sun wide open, and we'll get to that. But this premiered on Wednesday, October 15th. The first 3 episodes were released, and we have Jason Clarke playing Alex, Patricia Arquette as Maggie, Johnny Berchtold as Paul, and Brittany Snow again as Mandy. So again, very capable actors. I can't tell you anything is wrong with this series, but when I put this up against what we just watched, what Devil in Disguise,
Oh, that's different. You can't put it.
No, I don't care, but it's still true crime. It's still telling a story. It's just, it's just.
Well, I really don't have an issue with this show. It's on par for me for all the other mess that we get from Hulu. I don't see too much difference between this and Natalia. It's the same to me. It's
Natalia, this is them though. Natalia, they over exaggerated a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, it's the cheaply low hanging fruit. Like even the production quality, it's just like the same. It's the same pitch to me. I really don't see any. But then again, I don't really know anything about the story like that, so maybe I'm just invested to just see where it goes narratively. But it's the same to me.
Yeah, I don't know. So as we open up episode 1, it starts with the call. We see Alex Murdaugh out at the stalls or whatever, where the happenings happen, and he's calling, Maggie's been shot, she's shot bad, bring the police out. So we know that these are the events that are going to start his very public trial and all of those things. But then shortly after, we go back in time, and we're kind of really inundated in these first couple of episodes with them establishing the tone of who the Murdaugh family is, and what they represent in this community. I think one of the first things we see once we flash back is them in the kitchen, and his father, Papa, is being remembered and acknowledged for his legacy in the town, getting the highest honor. What is it? The Palmetto in South Carolina, for, I believe, working in law or whatever. And we're really steeped in family tradition, a history of privilege, corruption, drugs, theft, addiction, and ultimately legacy. I want to be approved by my father. We see that with him and his father, Alex, I'm referring to. And then, of course, we see that with Buster and Paul as well. Tyra, did this stand out to you in any way? Again, privilege is going to privilege, but yes, corruption ran deep. Embezzlement ran deep. He was stealing from everybody. Legacy, am I going to be able to carry on the family name? Are my sons going to be able to carry that on? Did it move you? Did it make you invested?
It moved me for how brazen it was. Like, it's so bold. I mean, privilege and white privilege and legacy and lineage. And we've been in this town for generations over, and it rolling over all the way down to your little breed of a son thinking that he deserves the same treatment and I'm going to do and frolic in whatever little drunken way I want to. But this is just how it is. I do think it's interesting that it's generational and it's like so heightened to me. Privilege is one thing, a little cute little, like, what I got off from that, who's, but there are massive things taking place here. Things that you really just shouldn't be able to write off. I think what makes it different here is that they do have so much stake in the town and notoriety that certain publications, families, it's like a dictatorship. I'm like, well, hell, what? It's unlawful privilege. Like, it's just so bad. That's what kind of entranced me with how far it was running and what they were able to do. And nobody was going to say never mind, because it's not just running through their family or the most you'll see, like, I got a couple of connections with some cops, so I'm going to write. No, it's so deep and embedded to where it's tactical, and however long it's been able to exist, it just raises a brow of whatever else were we doing, whatever else are we involved in, to where it's gone unchecked, because this is how it is. It's just so old school in a traditional sense of privilege to me, the way it's running deep in this town in the year of a 2023 or 2022. That's crazy to me. You would
But
think
that's what it was. This was their reality for generations in the
that,
town. They ran the town. Like, oh, we'll fix it. Don't worry about that. Oh, we got it. We'll take care of you.
yeah, so it's here, but it's like, dang, or it's just so wide open and known. Normally, it's like a hush hush thing, and it's like, well, we don't go around that house, but we don't cross that street, we don't walk past there, because we know how that family rolls, and it's just so out in the open, and I'm just really questioning what bag of bones are really buried between daddy and his daddy and that daddy and
Great
daddy.
granddaddy and great. It goes
Like,
back. It
everybody,
goes
it's just
back.
so bad. It's like, it just feels like this is the tip of the iceberg, when we're getting into drugs and theft and us having illegal business practices and corrupting cops and things like that. And you're going to do it because of who I am and I said so, or you might just lose the damn job. Do you know the power I have? That's one thing, but it's like, this is just the tip. Girl was down there at the bottom. What really
The
is,
worst.
I
More stuff.
and that's awful. That's awful. Just from the little bit that we've seen here, and there's just an expectation of, we're not going to be held accountable for anything. In the moment that you might be, it's a surprise, because you haven't had to be accountable for your wage, your privilege, and your family for decades. Excuse me.
For
That's horrible.
generations and generations and generations. And this doesn't happen overnight. And even in terms of what we've seen so far, we haven't seen anything yet. Even with Alex, you haven't even seen the worst of him yet. And I know it's far fetched and it's hard to believe, but this didn't just spring up with him. This is what it looks like when there's no consequences and you've gotten away with everything for your whole life. So again, they're painting the picture, and we're getting to know Alex in this first episode, and we see him immediately popping pills. He's looking at the news. He's like, "All right, yeah, that's gonna be you, baby, Maggie. That's gonna be you, honey. You're next in line because you're such a good man. Are you ready for trial?" All right, so he's popping pills as he's driving under the influence to the courthouse to go represent the man with no legs. I have no legs, right? And so he's in there, and we're just kind of seeing the pace at which he moves. He's being called in for the jellyfish situation. No, I got it. I'll take care of it because it's my town. I know what to do. He's stealing money. He's doing all the things, but on top of that, he's an extreme dope fiend. He got a pound of pills hidden under the bed, Tyra. And wifey finds it, and she's like, "I'm just put it in my hat box. I'm going to just cover it up like I cover up everything over here." Maggie, played by Patricia Arquette, is the quintessential cover-up queen, right? I'm the perfect Southern wife in my, damn, was that Lily Pulitzer? That dress, that horrible, hideous dress she got on right here. Um, and I'm going to cover it up. I don't want to deal with this right now. My husband's got a lot on his plate, honey. Maid, can you take this up a few inches, this inseam? And, we're going to work things out. I'm not going to address it right now. Not a big deal. Tyra, talk to me about being married to a dope fiend. And even in this isn't the first time. He's back on it again. He told me he stopped.
I love Patricia now, with a little weird self, little quirky self. She's always going to give in a role. I love their dynamic because it's president for what this family represents. She thinks she's the good one. I'm the sane one. I'm the reason that this family continues to operate. Without me, all of you would be lost. I'm the giver. I'm the seer. I'm the community. I'm the activist. I'm the picture perfect parent keeping this all together, and y'all are just in shambles. Oh God, today done drained me. I'm just exhausted. She sees no flaw and no wrong in her actions, and I really think that that's interesting because she's just as complacent as ever. She's like, you're awful too, beloved. It's about optics and image, and as long as everything looks right on the outside and you're giving me what I want, hey, I don't care. I don't care otherwise. But she's just this condition. Baby, this dope fiend, I want to know who's allowing him to take their case. I was like, what are you? Is this clientele from elsewhere? From towns, states,
You
all over?
know how them lawyers work on contingency, honey. If I win your case, we get this bag, and I'm gonna take whatever I want.
Girl, I was like, you wouldn't be able to do nothing for me. He just seems so ill-equipped and incompetent. I don't know if maybe he was that man. You was that lawyer back in the day. Right now, currently, you couldn't touch my case with a 10-foot pole. No, we have so much pull in this town. I would love to see what his conviction and his rates are and little stats as a lawyer. Like, did you win every case just because of who you are?
Yeah, basically.
Did you? Oh my
The
God.
mayor in your pocket, the judges in your pocket, like, for the most part, like.
Oh, that is awful. That is awful. But I don't know. Maybe some of the people are in on it, but his addiction is taking over. You could see that it's something that was present, and maybe he pretended that he was sober, or maybe he tried to be, and it's not. I was like, I thought he was selling drugs. I was like, oh, that can't be for use.
That's his personal stash, honey. You know he got his Altoid canister filled up.
Exactly, like this massive ass bag of pills. How many pills are you taking in a day that you need all of those?
You saw him. You saw by the end of the day it was empty. You saw his little canister.
Oh Lord, and you could just tell that this is something that she's been dealing with probably their entire marriage. She just knew, like, oh yeah, he's kind of iffy, a little off again with his behavior, like just from the motion and his mannerism. Yeah, girl, let's get it. Come on, Glogo, get the looking for it. Let's find it, because I know it's something in this house. This is a sad marriage, but she's really trying to hold on to the loving part, and they really delve into pretending that they find each other so desirable, and she's acting like she's satisfied, and she's just not. And this is giving loveless marriage, but we're gonna pretend that it isn't.
Absolutely, we're gonna put on a good Southern front about it. He hates this lady stinking goods. We saw it. It eased up, and of course we have to have the proverbial sibling rivalry, right, between Paul and Buster, because on paper, Buster's the good one. Buster's just got accepted to law school. And Paul, you're out here with huge tree branches stuck between your wheels and tires, driving drunk, which clearly you have a history of. But honey, I'm just glad you made it home safely. Alex doesn't give a damn about either one of these boys. Let's be honest. He could give a single damn. Paul, from what we've seen in these first couple episodes, is vying for the attention and approval of his father. And Buster just gets it. Oh yeah, you're letting the legacy go on. You just got accepted into law school, Buster. Buster's hell. Buster's a hellion as well. They just ain't got into that yet. But of course, we have to kind of push the brothers against each other in a way, because we see Paul seething. You always get, you're always the one. You're always this. You're always that. And we've seen it before. Did it give to you, Tyra? Did you believe the rivalry here and the competition for approval?
Wait. Buster is hell too.
Buster is hell in the paint. Yes,
I thought Buster was gonna be the good scene. The most I got off of Buster is with him being the do-good son and the one with what seems to be the common sense. He's the sober one. He's, the one with ambition, and maybe who's gonna follow in the family lineage of being lawyers and going to school, and yeah, hoorah, all of that good stuff. And of course, you have Paul and his deep resentment because nobody cares about me, nobody notices me. Meanwhile, you're just a perpetual F up. The most I got off of Buster was him maybe concealing his sexuality, and not just off of him or anything he was doing. It was just the family and the questions that mom was asking later to the girlfriend, and just kind of questioning, and even the way that Paul it just seems like he was trying to come at his manhood and get into this toxic masculinity and I can wrestle you. Like, it's like, yeah, he's just not that. I was hoping he was the one with the sense.
No, baby.
I mean, it tracks, it is not just going to skip, especially with you guys being in the household, but I was just really hoping he was the good son. damn, so much for that. Don't ruin anything in the chat because I'll probably continue watching regardless. I really thought that Buster had no dealings with, any of that, and I'm just trying to. It was almost giving like hold my head down so I can get out of this house and get the f away from all these people because I don't want anything to do with this. Well, dang. The sibling rob, I'm definitely buying it. I don't know what's coming, but I buy it so far. I thought, we were really getting into that, and it's just, Paul vying for what he doesn't have, and I want his attention. Not only am I a brat in the baby brother, but you got Mr. Perfect here. He can't help but feel like he's being compared to all the time, and even in just the way that the friends were kind of looking at them and addressing and interacting, it's just like he's the favorable brother. I am really surprised that Buster is trash.
Yeah, we're all trash. It's a family of trash. Hey, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. I saw a podcaster's deep dive on this, and they mentioned that they were very rich in a town that was primarily poor. So huge power disparities, and that's what makes the difference. The one who has the gold makes the rules. I think that's what they say. That's what it was giving. And I hate it for the people who were exploited. Party for Pawpaw and bribes, of course, because we saw the jellyfish situation. He was so corrupt and had his hands in so many different pots. And who want to eat a damn jellyfish? Nobody wanted. Everybody who tasted that damn jellyfish was like, why did you hand this to me? So we're at the party. He's checking Maggie because, woman, leave me alone. She didn't do it all by herself. I did it too. He's just, but we see Mr. Black Man. I'll hook you up with the mayor if you go on and let our jellyfish enterprise keep going. It's like, what are you doing? Who's gonna buy jellyfish to eat? Is it a delicacy? Drop it in the chat and let me know. But this party for Pawpaw's going off without a hitch. She got it together because that's what Maggie does. And all the while we're making bribes and colluding with other highly ranked government officials. Tyra, did this did this kind of give you a glimpse into what we're dealing with here? Because I can make anything happen in my town.
It did, but I was hoping that the jellyfish business was a front for something else. It's like, are you really selling? Is this you importing drugs from somewhere? What's really going on here? There's no damn way you're thinking that you can make a business with these jellyfish. So it looked disgusting. I was hoping that wasn't the case, but if it is, he already felt content at like, how dare you guys challenge me? You want me to be up to business standards and practices to run this? Just do what I said. Everybody else
submitted the application. I don't need an approval.
I don't need a business license. I don't need any goddamn. I don't need that. That's for all those other commoners, not me. And just the bribes in the party, like the fact that this is just what they've been doing in the community and it's kept certain people content. He was really bothered that not only was this man not content in this officer, but he was black. This black man, how dare you come in? You accept it. Be glad that it was given. Be glad it was. He gives, we could have strung you up back in the day. That's what he gives. That's what he gives. That's what his family gives. But it was just too much. And you could just tell that whatever the dynamic has been for years, it is crumbling. Because whatever it was and the riches and whatever, baby, you broke. You broke. It was a miracle at this point that this function came together. Yeah, I don't have any money, but he continues. He wants to, that perception. I'm going to throw my weight around and my money because I don't want y'all to think I don't got it. Yeah, just do. You too can be a part of the party. Do you know what we could do for you? Even exchange. It's like, yeah, either you go the legal route or your little jellyfish business is going to be just as condemned and done as this little function is. This is a family downtrodden.
Absolutely, it is. And stealing, robbing Peter he's just robbing Peter, honestly, because he ain't paying Paul. He's just robbing people and his family. Now, of course, get over here to Paul, a royal F up, but he's our F up. Cause son, I know you were drinking and driving, but I'm glad you're okay. Honey, we got the saved and sanctified maid in the house. Like, there's hope for you. There's room for you at the cross. And Paul is just he's seeking something. Anybody could tell. Any concerned parent would be like, oh, my baby needs a treatment program. Like, but the level of denial that they all live in, it pisses me off because I really feel like they could have stopped. They could have prevented this. Your son has no business being drunk driving. The first time, he doesn't need a vehicle, okay? He need to be put up somewhere. Like, what are we doing? This was inevitable to me. The upcoming boating accident. that we'll see. But I'm gonna cover it for you, son, because ultimately he gets on the water drunk with his friends and decides he's gonna be the one to drive the boat. And we have the girls on the boat, honey, and the girl Mallory, I believe was her name, was up there. They went under the thing. The boat crashes. Everybody gets thrown out, honey, but she's not found. And so now it's a matter of, well, who's gonna take this blame? Because son, you're not going down for this. Mama says my baby can't go to prison. My baby can't go to jail. He won't make it. So now I have to go about town seeking who I may devour, who I did a favor for. Yeah, it's you. Your son gonna have to take the rap for this. He was there, right? I need him to go on and confess for it. It's sick and it's twisted, and this is how this type of family perpetuates and goes on. And this is just the family we know about. It makes you think how many other families are out there who have operated like this for generations. How many people have been sacrificed at the altar of their privilege and their power and their money. I hate everything about it. Tyra, what'd you think of the boat accident, of Paul? I guess in his guilt, because he acted a little bit guilty. But how guilty if you go drinking right after? I don't know.
There was no guilt here. It was very, nobody's talking to me. Do you guys not like me anymore? Like, is she dead? Oh, like, girl, he didn't care. He didn't care for the moment that it happened. And I think that he's pushing too far into the whole, I don't remember anything narrative. And I don't know. Was I driving? You know exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
If not all of it, you're pretty damn close to it, but he's pretending to block it out. It was everybody being on arms immediately, covering. Yeah, we're gonna just look for her. What are you looking for? That stretch of acting like she ran away. Maybe she was delirious. Maybe she's walking around in the woods. Maybe she was kidnapped. We don't know. Let's just close everything off, not answer any questions, and look for her. We know where she is. And the way, girl, the whole police department just fell out. Baby, the way I would move. Was that never an option? Girl, I would have moved. I would have been moved. You have the nerve. You come here like the tyrant you are. Like the way he was getting people together down at the hospital before anything ever happened.
Now you don't want to say anything too fast.
Right? Yeah. It's just these intimidating tactics, like just so brooding in this forest. It was like evil. They already have these deep, dark ass pupils. It's demonic. They're just walking and shadowing. Yeah, like what are you saying? What are you doing? Like you all could go to jail. You all could be getting incriminated. You all were drinking and they're just so scared. And I felt so bad for these. I don't even know. He's not a teenager, huh?
He's like late teens, I believe, because this is back in 2019. I want to say he's younger than Buster, but he's still like college age. I want to say he's 19, 20. Y'all drop it in the comments, y'all who know the story in and out. In 2019, how old is Paul?
But even with that, whether it's that, I guess that's besides the point, but we have these kids here, and I'm going to call them kids, and just their parents. You're expecting for your parents to step in and protect you. You're expecting, and they're cowering just as much as you are and scared and just like, baby, just do what he says. Like, what? And you came to that man's garage and told him that your son, yeah, he's just going to take the fall. We're just going to do that because, yeah, not my son. Your son can go to jail, or your son can maybe get off with, whatever. My son has his whole life in front of him. Don't you know what I've done for you? Like, I'm sure that they played this card with so many people in this town, baby. I would have just left. I would have moved and just counted my blessings. But all of this out here and the way that just Brittany Snow, her character, and
Mandy.
like Mandy, the lid that was kept on this to where she is, it's not like some national, like it's just maybe still just like a small paper. We couldn't even get it in a small paper. And nobody was gonna know about it.
Yeah, we don't do that here. No, we don't talk about that family here. We don't do that, Mandy.
We couldn't even get it in that small local town paper. So as far as it reaching out, maybe they've been doing this for a long time. And I just hated to see him throw his weight around in that hospital and, Dad, fix it. You always fix it when I did something. Just say, oh man, unfortunately, no sweet blonde girls had died. So this is a little different. A blonde girl, a sweet blonde, innocent, pretty blonde died. We gotta move accordingly. And then the parents coming here, you telling me I can't ask any questions. I can't even see the boat. I can't even walk. Like, I can't even walk and look for my own daughter. But you guys are out here walking and giving false hope as if this was just a minor thing and she's going to be found. You already knew where she was and y'all knew she was dead and y'all played in these people's face. Paul is very sick though. Paul is extremely sick, and he's, acting out, doing this young, privileged, nobody cares, that angsty ass teen behavior, that thing. But when it comes to somebody else's life and even his friends, it was just, I do like the cycles here, because where you could see something with Paul, you could have the same situation, not Paul, but the dad, and you have the same situation
Alex.
with Paul. And it's like, because I know I was the only one. I was like, get off the boat. Why would y'all get on the boat? Why would you maybe jump off? You're not driving me anywhere. You got to take us home, right? You got to take us back across. You don't have to take me anywhere. But they're just so consistently tying to, we're going to fall in and do whatever this person says, regardless of their state, because he was clearly inebriated. And just the F up, like, he's so annoying and childish, and just not something that you would warrant your way for friendship. A lot of the people in this space, even his friends, they don't actually like him. It's just like we were told to, we was raised to and brought up to think that we're supposed to act accordingly with this family, and people are losing their goddamn lives.
And that's what it is. It's very kind of like this situation. It feels very niche, I think, for people who weren't brought up in like very small towns. Like for me, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Why wouldn't you move? But if your whole family has lived there for generations and it's all you know, the thought of moving, having the means to move, can feel really daunting. And even in this friend group, their family was used to being at the seat of power, even in friend dynamics, even in friend groups. So I mean, you saw it when he came in and talked to those kids. They were petrified. Like, oh my God, like, okay, yeah, we got to do what they say. Like, that's what is the culture there, and it's so unfortunate. But I think that's why so many people, you used to get all those movies in the 80s and 90s, like, I feel trapped in my hometown, I gotta break free, mama, I gotta get it past the railroad tracks, it's too much. Like, that's definitely what this gives. And of course now it's damage control. Let me see who I can put this on. Who did I do a favor for 5, 10, 20 years ago? Yeah, you have a son, he was there. Remember that thing I did for you? Wouldn't have the life you had. Yeah, I'm so grateful. Well, yeah, you know what you got to do then. Your son's gotta he's gotta confess. You gotta sacrifice him at the altar. Go on and do it now. Go on and do it. Kiddos, don't say anything. You want to say the right thing, because if you say the wrong thing, that's a charge too, right? So let's just wait. We don't know. Everything's gonna be fine. Maggie, to me, feigns concern because, Mama, you're complicit, baby. You're complicit in all of this, but I care so much about her, baby. You don't care enough because you want your son to get off so he can do it again. What did you think about this whole move? Let me see what I can let me see what trees I can shake. Because Daddy, you got me off when I was in my Civil War attire, getting set up on the college campus, getting the people expelled. Go on. I need to be able to do the same for mine.
You're not the Civil War party. I was like,
You know what it was. You saw that Confederacy uniform he had on.
all right, Paula Dane. Um,
Oh.
this this sloth going around, like, he's literally leaking pills and scotch, and he's like, yeah. So I was like, it's nothing this man would be able to tell me. Like, they were just really like, oh, I'm gonna be held in contempt. I'm just scared, and not even scared of just the consequences of what could happen from this situation. No, you're scared of this family and this man in particular. Not your life, things that could be wasted away, gone. It's just like, what? Baby, move. Get your raggedy duffel bag and get out of here. I'm not telling my sons to do anything. It was just pure intimidation. And how berate and disgusting Paul was in this whole house. I was like, oh my goodness, please don't put the camera on him anymore. I just can't. And they could just look at him, especially Maggie, like, oh, it was just giving, oh, my son's still alive, right?
As long as
my
he's okay.
my son's okay, right? It's, oh, poor thing, all of y'all. That's why I couldn't get with her, trying to throw her cape on. We gotta go out. We gotta go look for her. We gotta do something. We can't just be held up in this. It's like, I'm the good one. I'm the good parent. I'm not like all of them. But this was scary. The acting here was really, really great. I love all the cast here so far. But he does very well at just being intimidating, but also he's just walking that fine line of being an intimidating brute and just being a sloppy druggie, to where it's like, how are you even controlling anything to where anybody would be in fear of you? You can see old that daddy, you can see old money with all of that, but you can see how it's becoming more and more desensitized with every generation. And Paul is just a shell of this. And even if it was a little Paul, it would just be worse. It's like, this has to stop here. Somebody has to do something and step in. I was more so just really hurt that any of the parents could sit here and like, okay, well, no, we're just gonna go home. Don't say nothing about your broke, fractured, and your necks and everything. And matter of fact, I'm gonna go and let my baby take the charge because yeah, you're right. You did. What are you doing? You gonna sacrifice your child for what?
Mhm.
I don't know.
You know, because I'm scared because they have power. And so finally, Mandy gets wind of this in her little place, and she's like, you know what? This bears me digging into. And so she's going to ruffle some feathers, honey. She's going in. What I got to do to find out about these Murdaughs? And I guess ultimately she creates a podcast because this is one of the creators of the show at this point. So she's like, we need to get to the bottom of it, tries to go and get information, to which she's met by closed doors, right? But she's not over it. She's not done because a girl lost her life and we need to get results. Tyra, what did you think of Brittany Snow? If y'all don't know Brittany Snow, I don't know where y'all were in the early 2000s, honey, because she was down over there in every teeny bopper thing. Most recently, I think she was over there in Hunting Wives, which I know everybody raved about on Netflix. But what did you think of Brittany Snow in this role as Mandy and her search for a deeper truth?
Girl, the fact that Brittany still looks every bit of 18.
That looks good.
I mean, thank goodness for Mandy. If it wasn't for Mandy, they were just going to operate as usual.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks that it took someone just to see. And that's all it takes is a singular person going, you know what, this isn't right. We need to do something. We need to dig a little deeper and just publicizing it more and putting more eyes on it because they've been keeping whatever under wraps for so long. It was just going to stay there. And even going to the head of the paper, just like, yeah, we don't write about that. What do you want, a target on our back? You want to shut down? What do you want? We don't do that. Like, yeah, I'm going to do it no matter what my superior said. We appreciate that. We appreciate the Mandys of the world and doing that homework. And everybody's like, so you're not scared? You're not? No, I don't rock like that. I'm not from here, baby. I've been off the plantation. I don't know what's happening around here for y'all to be in fear. But right now, there is some injustice happening. The fact that their name, like, we had already got to a certain point, and Paul and them baby names weren't even mentioned. We didn't even know, like, well, who's the Murdaugh family? Who's that? Huh? I don't know. They're nowhere to be found, to be publicized, to even mention that this might be their fault. So if I'm getting a whiff of it and I can expose it to help get this young lady some justice who lost their life, that's what the hell I'm going to do. They have clearly been connected to a couple of incidents, probably even more deaths and cover-ups. They were just too comfortable. This wasn't their first rodeo. It was just really like, oh man, it's a little harder this time. It's a young blonde white. Oh man, like if it was an older, if it was a black, then maybe we could. It's a young blonde white. I just don't. Yeah, we're gonna have to try to do something fancy with this one. Yeah, she's like, y'all not giving me none of this rigmarole. We're taking you down. And I appreciate it.
Immediately, because we need somebody to stand on business at some point in some time. She's actually the reason that young Paul was finally indicted by these good people. I mean, but $50,000 bond, and you can leave after this. Is that really justice? But we got the best lawyer in South Carolina to defend you. But Mandy is the reason Paul was ultimately indicted. Did you think this was going to go anywhere else than it ultimately did as far as the indictment, Tyra?
With what it was and what we've seen so far, I'm sure he's not the first to be indicted. I thought that this was just par for the course of the family. I didn't expect, unless it was something where we were going to be removed and be in contempt somewhere out of state, out of prying eyes of people who are under their thumb. They have their hands in every single pot, including these judges. I wasn't surprised.
No, I wasn't either. But after the indictment, because he did such a great job, they said, let's reward the unaliver with stolen $68,000 vacation. Because at the end of the day, Alex Murdaugh ain't got no money. He ain't got no money. He's stealing. He's stealing. He didn't met with the bank president. Yeah, so you can give me a loan for that. You can float me that loan real quick so I can do what I need to do. And then we see the bill. You spent $69,000 on a vacation to reward this boy for getting drunk and killing a girl? Be so freaking serious. Buster get to bring his girlfriend. I mean, it's a family affair, Tyra. Maggie done bought her some gold sneakers. She's ready to live her best life. What in the name happened here. I hated everything about this. I just hated the level of privilege that this elicited and demonstrated to us, that you guys can be so callous and so unconcerned with others that you feel like, yeah, he needs a break. He needs a break. He's been through so much. Let's
I
let's go do this. Let's go celebrate. Mhm.
Them down at the pool was just disgusting. I was like, ugh. Get out of the pool. Ugh. Get away from whoever's child this is that don't want to get in. Get this man away from your son. Where's your parents? This Oh God, them coming on down to the Bahamas because the block is hot around here. We need a break. We need to get away. How dare we put this on? Come on now. This is probably what they've been doing, whether it's been just a massive vacation, him and his 70K, or just giving them whatever they wanted, like material wise, and aiding them with money and shutting them up with money. And sure, you can have the boat, you can go off and be by the bonfire drinking all hours of the night. As long as you're not bothering me, I'm fine. If anything goes awry, we're just going to cover it up. Like, there hasn't been, from what I could tell, any real parenting going on. And he's just so insufferable and crying out for help and just so damaged because at this point he's having nightmares and feeling like he's cut off from the friends and the girlfriend who at that point was like, oh, let me go meet up with Mandy because now you want to go meet up. I'm like, okay, fine, girl. All right, I'll let you make it. But what was this supposed to do? It's like, this is just a distraction. And I hate that all of this could be going on, like these glaring things with your son, to where it just feels like you're breeding a homicidal maniac. We can make time to fixate on Buster. And well, how's Buster with you? What is he like? What I was like, and I don't know, is Buster gay or something?
Keep watching.
It felt like she was trying to inquire about Buster's sexuality, and I think that's the thing within the family. So it's just like you're also having probably some seeding things with Buster if he can't live in his truth and he's pretending and getting a beard and some other things to where he might, be, how y'all saying, he's a hot mess too. But it's just like, yeah, let's just go and we're going to go fishing and the boys and the legacy and this is what we always do. And we're unhappy. Meanwhile, she down at the bar acting like girl, who, what? Whose son? Girl, I am. Married. Me? Oh, no. I've been out. I'm an interior designer. Yeah. Yeah. You're not. You didn't want to acknowledge this piss poor family or these sons or that husband thinking about the life that you could have had. Baby, that's over. You breeded these demon seeds. You need to own them. And then he down trying to spit. Get your old sweaty ass off my neck down at the club, at the bar, trying to spit your game. What are we doing here? They're just so unhappy and they're trying to mask it in this money. And even if it's all of this hot mess and this melting pot of privilege, I would think that we would want to be mindful and make sure that the privilege continues to go. The only way that you keep having access to this type of privilege is if you have the money. You're broke. I would think the money would be the top priority, and nobody knows, and you're just sitting here secretly waiting. Oh Lord, I hope that check hit on it first. I hope I get that money. I don't see nothing. Like what would have happened if they didn't send it and you had to go on up there to pay that bill? Like that, living on the edge and being that insufficient with your funds, and we don't care and careless to where the ship is burning down, but we got money, 70K to throw on this. Why?
That's got to be part of that privilege, like that privilege as you walk through this world, like, oh yeah, it's just gonna work out. It'll be fine. It's fine. Worst case scenario, I gotta call my dad. It'll be fine because so there's always been someone there to clean up their messes perpetually. It's a whole new way of thinking, right? So now, of course, trouble in paradise. But after the most disgusting hunching session, if it was hunching. Oh, God. I don't know what he did to that lady in that bed. It was vile.
Oh God, oh God.
Oh my gosh. After he sweated his perm out on the dance floor with Becky with the good hair, he said, yeah, I'm gonna give you something real, honey.
Bring it on, Big Daddy. You rock my world. Like, get off of me, sweating on me. Like this is not the hot fantasy.
What was that?
You barely got it in before it was over, sir. Go to bed.
It was. It was. That was less than 2 pump chuck. That was like a half a pump. I was like, what is he doing back there? Until I started hearing the grunts. I said, oh God, how vile. And so, Trouble in Paradise, Maggie's acting like, well, I think she does. She's genuinely concerned. She says, they say that Paul can get 70 years in the Pinta. And I just, and he reassures her, we handle everything. I'm Big Daddy. I got this, boo. Meanwhile, you higher than hell. And I think that being high all the time also lessens his inhibitions and gives him this other way of thinking, because you can't consume that many. Like, when you really find out the gravity and the weight of his daily drug use, and I'm sure they'll tackle it at some part in the series, you'll be amazed. I don't even know how he walks and stands up straight with all of the drugs that he was spending. Like, his habit was insanity. Okay, so he's operating in a whole different wavelength. But baby, we got this. I got this. Paul is going to be fine. Nothing's going to happen to him. Everything's going to be all right.
You already know what she's prioritizing. Once she started, okay, I'll give you like 1 or 2 pills a day. And I'm like, who are you, Nurse Ratched? What kind of dynamic is this? Like, we did all of that hoorah, and we're going to hide the pills just to cave in, because if this is going to leave you in a saner state to where you just need to make this go away. Just make this go away, and we're going to act like it didn't happen and just save our son. Just do that. Just do your magic, because I can't deal with this. But I'm going to coast you and be your pusher and try to, like, this isn't making the problem any better, but she thinks she's doing the sensible thing. I'm like, there's more drugs.
There's more, baby. His habit was insanity. And wait till you get into the hookers.
No, you could tell with how he came to just try. I was like, get out of there. And you can tell a loveless marriage a mile away, and it's just not that. Even in these few episodes, it seems like she's trying to kind of fixate on her dresses and stuff. Like, let me make sure I want to be, not just image wise, am I looking desirable and that thing? And it's just like, yeah, if he's all down at the club trying to sweat on somebody's daughter, it's like, boy, if you get your old ass away from me, he's stepping out now. If it's hookers, then you're using company funds, sir.
You already know how it go. You know how the game go.
You know how the game go. Money.
Girl, he find the money. He's stealing the money from everybody. He's stealing money from his clients, from his daddy, from the firm, from everybody, from the bank, from everybody. But anyway, easing on down here. And this was sad, y'all. This was sad. Saved and sanctified maid busted her head open to the white meat, Tyra, carrying in this luggage that they couldn't be bothered to carry in. Because why Paul ass can't come down here and get this stuff out the trunk? I got to carry all of it. And she's struggling every step. You like, damn, like, it must be really heavy. She's going one by one. One by one, one by one, one by one. And I believe her name is Gloria. And y'all know this actress. I believe if you watched Roseanne, I think that's where I most notably know her from. But I know she's been in a lot of different things. I know she did voice acting. Her voice is very, very specific and very familiar. But baby, that last piece of luggage she was lugging up there, she slipped on a step. It landed on her head in a pool of blood. She's the one who told Paul, baby, there is room. There is room at the cross for you. I know you don't go to church and don't do that, but know the Lord loves you. And I love you too, baby. And I go to church every Sunday and Bible study on Wednesday night. You can come with me. You're not a demon. You're not a bad person. You just made some bad decisions, baby. She's been kind of really, a force, I think, in his life to really at least be a light and act like she cares a little bit about him. But he finds her body, of course. Well, I don't want to say she's unalived. I don't know if this lady passes here, but I know it looked bad. And he got to go down and see the body. Tyra, what's going to be the fallout of that? And what do you think? I mean, because they played in this lady face. You went all the way to Tulum. She done been in your life 100 years, keeping your house, and you give her a snow. She looked at that snow globe like, oh. Can y'all give me a vacation? I would have been pissed off. I would have quit that day.
That's you just really getting into it, because even with their social capital and standing, we have our boys and we're in a trailer. We're making our bologna sandwiches. We're a single mom and she's giving just as much as she can, but you can tell that she pours a lot, and she treats these kids the same way she treats her son, to where she can see the light in somebody like Paul. And we didn't go to mom and try to, well, mom, I'm thinking, I'm feeling it. No, I'm gonna go and confide in, yeah, Glow. I'm called Glow.
Yeah,
I'm
Glow.
called Glow. Like, do you like to say something sweet to me after I didn't then got into a fight because I just need to feel some type of pain because I am a bad person. I am. I deserve to suffer. Hit me in the face. When he spit in that man's face, I swear I
That's what
lost it.
they do. You know, that's what they do, Tyra. That's what they do. Jesus.
Spit in that man's face because I'm looking for a fight because I'm nothing in this low self worth. But he called her. He didn't go to mom.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be something severed with her maybe being that maternal figure. I really hope this lady didn't die. I knew it was coming. We were all down. You know, I made you some sandwiches. I put them in your bag. Have a wonderful day. I was like, why are we spending so much time with Glow? I was like, is she covering up something? Is she essential? Like, is she down for the hot mess with the family? Is she that connected to them that she will be? Does she know something? I was like, oh, Glorilla. She's on the ground. But
Bad.
it lets you know how much how much they thought about her because you would think that they would take care of her. They would make sure financially that
She
she
was
was well
straight.
off, she was straight. And at least I understand being in roles of servitude, but help me with this heavy ass luggage. Like they don't do anything. She does everything and she's very supportive, damn near a family member. And you brought me back a snow globe, which brings into question, I don't know if she died or not, but if she did, how are you going to flip that? Like, how much?
Yeah.
I'm sure she's not going to be worth anything. Then they're going to try to paint it as something different. Like, oh, is she going to just another problem? Like, oh, or is this going to be a situation where she's looking for some type of compensation, and y'all tell her to get the hell on? Like,
Yeah.
or and I don't think it would be anything like, oh, I'm going to sue, but it's I'm injured, I'm out of work, I still have bills, I still have my boys. Can you guys maybe take care of? Are you guys going to take care of her? I don't know because
They'll take care of her now.
the Porsche was faulty.
Yeah. My thing is, whenever I get my own house manager on a regular basis, you know what I mean? They'll be well taken care of because why would you want your people who come and support your daily life to be struggling? Like, what sense does that make? Especially when you have they don't really have the means, but they put on as if they have the means to really, better her situation. There's no reason she should be living in a trailer with her boys and not have some sort of retirement plan or something, or God forbid, life insurance. We don't know if whatever happens, but I'm sure we'll find out in episode 4, y'all. But that was it. In a nutshell, those are the things that stood out to me. Of course, we saw some dynamics between him and his brother Randy. There's always going to be sibling rivalry and vying for the top spot when you come from one of these like dynasty type families. But Tyra, any other thoughts on the show? Anything you want to let the people know?
No, y'all already know what it is. Y'all know where we be at. Y'all don't know where we be. If you weren't here earlier, we did talk about the Braxtons. We talked about Abbott. We did discussions. Task. Child, a million things, good things, great, wonderful things. So if you want to run those things back, go hype the video and like it and leave comments. That will be great as well. But if you want anybody to come back and talk about these Murdaugh family, huh, y'all gotta show love because this is not anything. I'm invested enough to watch, maybe, and that's just like a catch up watch, meaning everything has already aired and I'm just going to kind of wrap it up. But talk about it. This is not anything that, yeah. So hype it up. Show some love if you guys want us to return and continue on, because like I said, I don't know what's coming, which is what makes it more intriguing for me than I'm sure Ashley. But if you want to know and be there for the shock and awe,
come on over. But thank you guys so much for coming through. Thank you so much for supporting the live. You guys made this bearable for me, and I appreciate that so much. And we love y'all down real bad. Do not forget the season finale of Task will be Monday night. Be there or be square. I'm sure they're going to show their behinds. And we'll be here to talk about it. And don't forget, Love is Blind. The weddings is this week too. So make sure that you have your notifications on so you don't miss a thing. But we will see y'all in the next video. Thanks for being here.